men's ministry. But I'd just like to thank everyone that was praying for me in Liberia. And it was so neat because people were praying in Liberia, people were praying back here. And I met a friend, Eddie. I'm supposed to be speaking on men's ministry, and I guess I got to start talking faster. But if you don't understand me, just put your hand up in the air, because some of the Nigerians and the Liberians would tell me, you have to speak slower because I can't understand you. I felt like saying, you guys speak a little slower too, because I have a hard time understanding. But you know, we did have one thing in common, and that was Jesus Christ. And you know, through him all things are possible, and all things we give thanks. I don't know why I was taken out of the ministry going places, but I was, and I thank God for it, and I thank you for your prayers. So I'll start by sharing when I flew into Liberia, because I flew to Nigeria first, and I went from Nigeria to Liberia. When I flew into Liberia, you know, you ever fly into someplace strange and you're looking for this friendly face, right? So I was looking for this friendly face that was supposed to meet me. And I was easy to see, because you could pick me out. And I couldn't pick out this friendly face. And all of a sudden I see this big guy, John Neighbor. He comes up, and he's a big guy, and he's got this smile on his face. And I knew this guy must be something. All of a sudden, this thing said Frank Halter. So I knew this was the guy I was supposed to meet. And he was one of the first guys that I met, and him and Mansour. And they talked to me all the way back in the car, and we're talking, and they told me I was in the Korean hotel, which somebody told me it was, you know, the Taj Mahal. So I didn't know what to expect. And then Debbie says, well, after I got sick, I was supposed to take care of her, and here God was taking care of all of us. And you know, I just seen the team grow through this, and I seen it back to the men's ministry. So these two guys were talking to me. So they're explaining all that, and then they said, well, your team is at Providence Baptist Church, and they're having a welcoming thing. Do you want to go to the hotel first? I said, it doesn't matter, wherever. And so we went to Providence. And as we're going, another neat thing about the African people, nothing's a problem. It's okay. It's not a problem. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not a problem. So I said, okay. So we get there, of course, and I walked in, and the team was all sitting in front of the church. And you know, you ever see something that you really, my heart just filled up. I see these people that I know them all sitting in the front row, and the service had just started. And then, so then I was united with the team, and we did a few things. And the first thing with the men's ministry was, I was going to teach Sunday school, men's Sunday school. Well, I was expected to see, 20, 30 men, and when we got there, there's about, I would imagine about 80 men. And we went with the Peacekeepers program, and it was about conflicts. And you know, when you teach things, I'm looking out at these men, and as I'm teaching, I could see some expressions were really good, and some were strange. But anyhow, after I'm teaching this program with a rag as my nose is dripping, and I really wanted to get through the program because I felt that the pastor had taken a lot on himself, and I wanted to give him a break because he was going to be preaching and teaching. And so as I got through this, and then afterwards were questions, and I got to interact with some more of the men. And then when I actually sat outside, and as I sat outside, they set me out in the cool air after the program, so during the church, and I could hear the church service going on. And a couple of men would come out and check to see if I was okay. But I noticed all the children outside, and all the children were outside and they couldn't come in. And later on I asked, because it was full, the church was full. And I became very good friends with this Eddie. And I said, you know, he said, well, they can't come in because the church is full. But then he shared with me, after we would leave, they were going to build a Sunday school alongside of the church. And so my part of teaching, interacting with these men, and so then my nose really bled Sunday night, and I had to go to the clinic. And they were nice at the clinic, and it was close. And they did get it stopped with adrenaline. And then when I went back the next day, Wally stayed with me, and Pastor wanted to make sure somebody was with me in case it started to bleed again. And then Eddie came in, and he prayed with me, and he said, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. God will make it okay. And then their pastor came in one night, 2 nights, and prayed. And I actually was convicted because in my younger days, I was prejudiced. I was a prejudiced person. And interacting with these men, and I seen, and then I was doing a study where in 1 Samuel where God was picking David to become king after Saul. And in there it says, God looks at the heart. God looks at the inner part. And I was not looking at the inner part of people. And it convicted me so much that I look on the outside of people. And God looks at the inside of people. And what we see on the outside, don't judge on the outside. Because it's in the heart that God looks at, and that's what we should look at. I think I have an extra love for the African people today. I've seen people that work so hard and get so little, and we have so much, that even our people on welfare, I think, would be considered rich in Africa.
That's making it go away.
But I just want to share that I'll wrap this up, that I did get a chance to sneak down with Eddie. We took a little taxi cab ride down to this little 1.5 acres that they had built. And they had a pastor's house that they built in the church, and they're going to build a Sunday school. And he showed me the baptismal thing that I didn't get to see, Pastor in the water. I would like to see that too. In his ankle deep of water, you know, I'd asked him to go out a little further. But the plans that they, as a church, and we didn't go to teach them, and we didn't go to be as know-it-all. And we were blessed one night, I think, when after we had eaten, all the men stood around and we shared what was on our mind. And Mansour shared that he didn't know what to expect from us as white people going to Africa, how we were going to act. And that he shared that we had acted like just brothers. And I praise God for that our team did have that kind of impact, that we were there to encourage and let them know that we stand by them in Jesus Christ, that we're all brothers and sisters. Thank you.